There we go. Should we start, Andy?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm meant to be doing the intro bit. it's not a cop out, I promise. So my name's Sam. I'm a public image on district governor, but I'm leading on public image as part of that role for District 1175. We've got Andy Jarrett, who is the public image SAT lead, District 1100, and Maggie Hughes, your District 1150. We've come together with Colin. Colin is District 1200. Colin's very much unwell at the moment, but he's put an enormous amount of work into tonight, and we'll thank him publicly for the work he's done. And I'm sure if you're in his district, you'll thank him as well at the end of tonight. Maggie, Colin, Andy, and myself met about a month ago, and we were talking about how could we support district leads, so the people attending district exec, whether they were leads of a particular part of Rotary or assistant governors, how could we support you in I was going to say working with clubs? And we've noticed, and it's no fault of anyone's, but we've noticed that we've gone back to an inconsistency in branding. We've gone back to some clubs having 4 or 5 different logos on their events. So we thought, with Christmas coming up, that we would put this session on to talk through all things Christmas, all things branding. So what is public image? We will go through, thanks to Andy, we'll go through the brand centre. We'll talk through copyright. Maggie's going to be leading on questions and answers. And at the end of tonight, you'll also know about the sources of support. So I'm just letting people in, and I'm going to hand over to Andy, but it's very much an informal session. Well, there are right answers, so I can't say there's no right or wrong answers. But when we get to our questions, no questions are silly. So please join in and get involved, because we really would like you to take this back to your districts, to your teams, to your clubs, and maybe we can have some consistency in how we promote Rotary across our cluster. Andy.
Yep, thank you very much, Sam. Just to add to that, one thing I would say is that at the end of today, or shortly, you will get, as well as the recording of tonight, there will be 3 documents that Colin has kindly prepared, which cover the main areas. What is public image, the Rotary Brand Centre, and copyright. So you're welcome to take notes as we go through the evening, but I would encourage you perhaps to consider not doing so, because there will be comprehensive information that will follow. So we're going to do this actually in 3 main sections, as you've heard. What is public image, Rotary Brand Centre, and copyright? And of course, they all interrelate and need each other to actually function. So this presentation was designed for Colin to actually do this 2 of the sections that I'm going to do. So you have to bear with me while I do so. So we wanted to make it participative and give everybody the opportunity actually to be involved. So all 3 sections will feature quizzes. So it's up to you individually. I'll put the questions up. There's no prizes. There's no punishments for getting the wrong answers. It's just to actually get us all thinking and looking actually in a different way. And there will be a live demonstration of the brand centre, a quick touch on the learning centre, and also the information about public image on the Rotary Great Britain and Ireland site. So let's start then with the public image. So why are we doing what we're doing and things? So, the first question, really, the fundamental one, is why? What is the primary purpose of our public image efforts? Why are we doing what we're doing? Have a think. Of course, it's all of those things, but the key reason that we're doing it is to share Rotary's impact and values actually with the public. So if you scribble down C, that's the right thing. That's why we're doing it. So moving on, a positive public image can help our clubs to attract members, volunteers and donors, make Rotary stand out from other organisations, inspire current members, expand our reach, or all of the above. Which of those, again, have a think, for yourself, which of those or all of those do you think is A, B, C, D, or E? Do you think a positive public image can help with? Of course, it's all of the above. It really positive public image can attract members, make us stand out and differentiate ourselves, and be proud Rotarians that we are. We can inspire current and potential members and keep people actually on board, because recruitment is one thing, but retaining members is equally important. And of course, it can help improve and expand the impact that we've got actually in the community. One of the controversial things that some people like and some people loathe are tabards and things. So, all of those images that we can see here have got some value, but which do you think, in your mind, and take a few minutes to actually have a look at them, will actually get the biggest attraction and inspire actually people to actually want to be involved actually in it, and why do you think we'll do that?
Andy,
Yeah.
I'm not getting the slides of the choices up, I'm sorry.
So it's A, B, C, and D.
I can't see anything. I've got you, but I haven't got the choices. So I'm not ignoring you.
No.
They're not coming up on my screen.
Who's saying that?
Carol,
Hello.
Carol Llewellyn.
Is everybody else seeing 4 pictures?
Yeah, it's your
Yes.
view.
Yeah. I can
Yes.
see them.
It would be the view in the top corner on the top of your Zoom, I would imagine, possibly. It's your Zoom settings. If you click on the view at the top and you go
Yeah.
to if you're on a laptop, go to the third one down.
Multi-speaker.
Yeah, or on mine, I've got standard side-by-side speaker, side-by-side gallery, and side-by-side multiple speaker. So that will make the image. Have a go at that and then let us know.
I have done. I'm getting a lovely gallery, but not
Okay,
getting.
so then in the middle, between the gallery and the other side, there's well, this is learning for all of us. There's if you click on the middle, there's like a line that you can make one bigger and one smaller. So you can move it from side to side and split down the middle. I can't think of the proper word for that. It's a split, you can have a split screen. Has everyone else got that? I can see Alison nodding. So you can do it that way. So if it's working for everyone else, Carol, I think it's your settings.
It might well be, and I'm not sure. It's
Okay.
not coming. It's got show meeting timers, full screen, hide self view, sort gallery by first name, last name.
Would you mind, Carol, with the best one in the world, if we,
I was going to say carry on, and I'll join in as much as I can.
Okay, cool.
Fantastic. I'll try my best to read out as much as I can to make it
And
as
you
easy
will
as
get the
possible, Carol.
recording.
And you will get a recording, yeah. So which of the images, the 4 images that most of us can actually see, do we think is going to actually be most attractive and stand out for the public and things? And hopefully you've all had chance to actually have a look actually at them. So does anybody just want to quickly shout out while we've paused? Which image do we think and why?
I'd go for top left because it shows the Rotary brand in terms of high vis.
Yeah.
And it shows Rotary doing good stuff in the community.
Yeah. Anybody else got any other thoughts? And thanks for that, Paul.
Bang, 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 banging. No, yeah, but I've done it 3 times now. Can somebody come and get the cat out of my bedroom, please, with a fleas?
So please,
I've just muted.
if you're not involved, would you mind going on mute? Then that will help us all. So okay, so yeah, all of them are usable photos, but A is considered to be the best one because it's Rotarians undertaking activities for the community. It draws the public in because there's something in the middle to look at and shows Rotarians in action. B on the right hand side, it's not a big attractive display board. You can't really see a lot, so it's not particularly engaging. Certainly C, you'd be hard pressed to work out who's doing what and things, and lots of Rotarians and tabards with a bucket in the hand. And one of the favourite things is, do you need tabards if you're nowhere near a road or in a hazardous activity? And most people would say no. So, try and get images like A along the way if you can.
Alan
Andy,
Bartholomew's got his hands raised.
Yeah,
Alan.
yeah, please.
yeah, Andy, just one thought.
Yeah.
Is the badging that's shown, for example, on that top left-hand one, is that now out of date or compliant?
It isn't, and thank you for picking that up, Alan. So ideally, pictures like that we shouldn't actually use in the public. Nobody is suggesting that people go out and buy new tabards, just because the brand isn't necessarily correct. So when you come to replace them, please do so. The rule of thumb is that it's now been 13
Yeah.
years since the logo was changed. So
Yeah. The
ideally,
only thing I'd point out is that actually there is a need to change tabards at the moment in order to be compliant with health and safety law and the latest Rotary guidelines.
absolutely,
Therefore, it would
Alan,
make
you're quite
sense that
correct. If there
perhaps,
is a need, if
yeah,
there is
if
a need to
public
change.
image promoted that at the same time, then you're actually doing two things at once.
Okay, we'll bear that in mind. So if there is a need to actually change things, then please change and use the right logo, either because they're worn out or because they don't comply. You're quite correct, Alan, and thank you for the observation. The best way to make sure this message is understood and effective, and I'll read them out for your benefit, Carol, is to use jargon and insider terms, focus on awards and recognitions, speak in plain language and show real impact, or mention every detail of Rotary's history. And I'm sure we'd all love to do D, wouldn't we? So, so as proud Rotarians, let's speak in plain language and show the impact that we're having. So from the Rotary perspective, from a Rotarian's perspective, the next question and thought is, and please have a look and think for yourself, which platform is most commonly used for shaping public image today? Is it A, radio, B, newspapers, C, social media, or D, something in the post?
C, isn't it? Mm.
C, yeah. So most people, particularly the target audience that Rotary is looking to attract, is C. So don't ignore the others. Post is questionable. Certainly press releases are still very much worthwhile and radio is worthwhile. But really, Rotary is getting the most traction actually in in using social media. So using social media, what's considered to be the most attractive platform for reaching new potential members? And again, Carol, I'll read them out for you. Is it Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, or the catch-all? It depends on the target audience that you're looking to approach. So there's not to say that, any of them are the right one. Is it Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, or it depends on the target audience?
It's F, it depends on the target audience.
Very much so, yeah, depending on who that you're looking to speak to. And they're not mutually exclusive. Just because you've put something on X as it now is, doesn't mean to say you can't put it on Instagram. And if you really want to get out the dancing or whatever it is you're inclined to do on TikTok, share it across all the platforms, but in the right way and a consistent message, depending on what it is that you want to do. But generally, if you're going to just choose one and encourage clubs and use it yourself, then generally Facebook is considered to be the most effective one to reach our target audience, with the exception of corporate memberships, which are corporate members when LinkedIn is not far behind it. So if as AGs and district teams, you're going to use one platform, then encourage clubs to use Facebook and use it yourself. All of those are available as tools, LinkedIn closely behind it, if that makes some sense. So the tagline that we're all encouraged to use is service with a smile, or is it B, changing lives, people of action, or D, global helpers? Now, hopefully we'll all get that one because we see it regularly in the materials and the communications and things we get. It's people of action is the hashtag that we're encouraged to actually use in our materials. And of course, encourage clubs to use their local ones and also hashtags that are relevant to the post that they're doing. If it's something about the environment in Chelsea, then hashtag Chelsea, hashtag environment. Yeah. And then it'll be picked up by people that are searching for the environment, or they're searching for something about Chelsea, away it goes. So hashtags really can make a difference as to the way, how often and how well posts are picked up. So how often should Rotary clubs share their impact stories? And again, Carol, I'll read them out. Once a year, only when asked, consistently and regularly, and only in newspapers. And I hope everybody has sat there and scribbled down consistently and regularly. If clubs and you as you as district team members and AGs are looking to build an audience and people to engage with your post, then consistently and regularly, twice a week, 2 or 3 times a week, ideally if you can, but make sure that the content that you're posting is relevant and consistent and interesting and engaging. It's topical. Each Rotary month has a theme, and those can be utilised if you choose to. The Rotary supports public image in a huge different range of ways. We offer free ad space on Google. We host weekly webinars. Do we provide ready-to-use materials or pay for billboard advertising? And of course, the answer is C. There's lots of materials available on the Rotary International Brand Centre and Support and Learning Centre, and also on the Rotary Great Britain and Ireland site. There's lots of ready-to-use materials, but we do offer monthly webinars that are available specifically around public image. They that Phil Dyer organises, and I'm part of as part of the Special Advisors team nationally. So they alternate between drop-ins that are available for anybody, any club member that wants to, and direct members, anybody that wants to attend the drop-ins. And the alternate month, they're specifically designed actually for district public image team leads. So we do host monthly webinars, and there's lots of support materials and things. So hopefully this one, we're all going to get it right. Before using a photo of a child at a Rotary event, what we must do is ask permission from parents or guardians. And that, where it says children, don't forget that extends to anybody that is vulnerable. And when we come on to copyright in particular, we just need to say public image generally. So hopefully that's given you a quick overview of why public image is important and what's actually involved in things. So I now move on to the Rotary Brand Centre, where if I can, we'll do a whistle-stop tour actually of what's actually on the Brand Centre for you to be able to see and appreciate for yourselves. So most people, do you feel confident in using the Brand Centre?
No.
No. So firstly, do you know how to find the Brand Centre?
Yeah.
So the Brand Centre is, lots of different links available to it. It's not behind closed doors. Anybody can access it. You don't need to be a member. You don't need to encourage either yourself or club members or direct members to remember their own login. It is available to everybody, as much as we should encourage everybody to use their login. It's in 3 main sections. As you can see across the top here, there's our brand, downloads, templates. And to try to help and make it easy as possible, there's a video that people can use and follow that will help explain what's on the Brand Centre and how to use it and why. What I'm going to try to do in the next 5-10 minutes is very much an overview of the Brand Centre. You can spend the whole of your life actually looking at the Brand Centre, and believe it or not, some people do. But I'll show you some of the things that it can do and how easy it can be. Perhaps the most important bit from a compliance perspective is this section called Our Brand, where the sections that it's broken down into are the elements of people and hash of action, the overarching phrase that's actually there. So, the sort of materials that are available to actually enforce that. There's information about the brand elements. So information about the logos, the voice messaging keywords that we should be using as we come to actually communicate. So lots of information is actually there. Things like the presidential mission, vision, mission statements and things. Awful lot of images and photography and hints and tips about what people could and should be using along the way. and hints and tips about creating videos and customizing local videos, and some of the national videos that currently are only available in Americanese, but we're looking about getting them translated into good old proper English and things along the way. So lots of resources there about using images and images. Similarly, the official colours that we should be using in all materials and communications are all there, together with information about the technicality of the codes that actually make up them. So depending on which desktop publishing or whatever package you're using, it will ask you to get Rotary Royal Blue. Those are the colours that you need to actually get those colours. So as far as possible, encourage people to use one or a combination of the different colours that are available. And similarly, the typeface that Rotary's preferred typefaces. It's all there as to which ones are available and which ones could and should be used along the way. And most people will use, because they haven't got to have free teacher, will use Open Sans or Arial along the way. So again, consistent typefaces, consistent names really can help make a big difference. And again, the next.
Andy, just to chip in there, the default font now on Microsoft products is Aptos, which is a serif type font, and I don't see that mentioned on your list.
No, because that may be the default font that Microsoft actually wants us to use, but Rotary Internationals, and we've all signed up, in the declarations that all club uses, that it will comply with the requirements of of Rotary International, which include health and safety, the way in which we use the brand, and way in which we'll treat each other with respect and dignity. Every year, every club president will sign a declaration to effectively saying that they will comply, including the way that they use the Rotary's image, brand, and graphics and things along the way.
Yeah. The only thing I'd say in response to that is that there is nothing in the brand centre in relation to disability. There's nothing in relation to visual impairments, and quite a lot of the materials that are produced by Rotary do things which actually are not helpful to people with a visual impairment, such as using capitals and white backgrounds. So perhaps on our behalf, you could be raising these points with the Rotary Brand Centre and also with your colleagues as a SAT member.
Okay, we can certainly do that, Alan, and we can certainly encourage our district governors to use their voices as well to make those key points that you've made, Alan. Thank you. Okay, so that gives you, hopefully giving you a bit of an overview about the importance of what the Rotary brand is, and what makes it, it up. The fonts, the colours, the images and things that actually are available. So that's helpful. The next section is the huge range of downloads that are actually available to us. So they're everything from images, videos, audio, banners, promotional materials, and flyers that all can be downloaded and created actually from here. And similarly from the Rotary Great Britain and Ireland members only pages, there's a whole series of templates that are available that you can create and adopt, and can actually be ordered from the Rotary online shop as well, if you choose to. So there's lots of approved pictures that can actually be used in different circumstances. And as you can see, you can search the brand centre, just tap in a word there, and you'll come up with an approved image that can be used and utilised. There's lots of good pictures that can be used that are all available for us to use, haven't got to worry about any copyrights within them. So lots of things that can be downloaded and are all available for free if people want to. We've just had World Polio Day. There's a whole series of everything from MP3s to images related to polio. So fingers crossed, there's lots of powerful resources that can be used to actually help consistently get messages out there and that we want to. The third section of the brand centre is is where clubs, districts and zones can create their own logos. For clubs that have got Interact or Rotary clubs, there's subsections that will help with those. And there's also what's called lockups. And lockups are having images actually side by side with, with the various logos and images that Rotary has actually got along the way. So there's templates, and you can choose to create your own logo within the template. It's very easy to do, and you can do it now. So you just say that you want to create a logo. Wonders of technology. We'll see what's coming up. So it's given us the options here. We can use the Simplify brand, or we can use the regular one. We can have color, or we can have blue, change it as we want to. We can have the text above the logo, below the logo, or above and below. And in there, you can put the club's name, club, district, or local. So it's easy as that. Create the logo, download the file, and then you choose whether you want to download it as a PDF, a JPEG, or a PNG. So it's really, really easy for clubs, districts, zones to be able to create an on-brand logo. Now, I'm sorry, that was a very whistle-stop tour. Any of the district, public image leads are very happy to actually, talk you through that in more detail. But it is a very easy process, and there are 4 or 5 how-to guides on the, on the Rotary Learning Centre and here. And similarly with lockups. So lockups are, as can be seen there. The Rotary information is always on the left-hand side, and you can then to the right-hand side of the line, you can upload either text or images that relate to a partner program, a sponsor, a program, or an event. And you can use the template to create almost, as we did there with the club logo. So very easy to do something on brand that relates actually to, a thing that anything that you're doing with with clubs along the way. Is that all making some sense? And lots of powerful help and information. And on here, there's some do's and don'ts and how-to guides, and also some information about what good practice, bad practice looks like that Colin has prepared, and we can share with you all afterwards. So anybody got any if anybody any quick questions while we're on the brand centre, or keep them until we get to Maggie's bit.
What is the definition of the club name?
The club name is its geographic identifier, or what its approved name is on its charter. And you can, within the text, you can say Rotary Club of whatever it is.
I asked this because in Wales, they're putting the registered name alongside the Welsh name.
And it's perfectly able to do that. The word Rotary must be in English, no matter where you are in the world. Yes. But you can have in English your geographic designator, the town or city, wherever you're from, but also in the native language above and below the line, as it were. And we've got an example of that in the handout that we're going to give afterwards. So that does comply within the guidelines of Rotary, but the word Rotary must always be in English.
Yeah.
Philomena put one in the chat, and then you've got your hand up, Philomena.
Yeah, just wondering if there's an opportunity for direct membership logo.
Well, not actually directly through the Rotary International template, because don't forget that's an international global one. Whereas for direct membership is it unique to these islands? It's certainly not available on a worldwide basis.
They've got a logo, but how do we access that logo?
I think that's probably through the Rotary GBI.
That's through the Rotary GBI one, or available through, through as we go through the pilot that's part of, that is available, but it's certainly not available through the Rotary Brand Centre, because the Rotary Brand Centre is, global rather than something that's unique to these islands.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No other questions? Not yet.
So presumably, I've overrun a bit time-wise. I'm sorry about that, but to answer some of the questions as we've gone through, presumably you're all fairly familiar with the Rotary Learning Centre. If not, I would encourage you to, to go and have a look actually at what's available on the Learning Centre, including courses around, around public image. So they're all available if if you choose to. Yeah. Anybody uncomfortable with the with the Learning Centre?
Can I add there, Andy, that on
Please
Saturday
jump in.
we had a really good corporate membership, really positive meeting, the corporate membership training in Saltash, so in Cornwall. But it came to our attention that a lot of club members do not know about the Learning Centre, still do not know about the Learning Centre. So for the AGs on here, particularly in Devon and Cornwall, it may be really useful when you go to clubs to just take some images, take your laptop, take your phone, or just to show them the Learning Centre and show them how easy it is to get onto it. So Simon Wood and I were, you literally go onto my Rotary and click on it. So, and he's going to do it for us. There you go.
Yeah, so this is the public image area of the Rotary Great Britain and Ireland website rather than the Learning Centre. But the Learning Centre is very straightforward. One of the headings and things is public image, and there's also a section in there about telling Rotary story. So do encourage clubs to use that. This is what's available in the Rotary Great Britain and Ireland in the members area, as you can probably see there. And again, there's cross references to the main brand centre, but there's logos that are specific to the UK programmes that we offer, and in designating ones there for the youth competitions and things that we use within our country. So lots of resources here. Link to the brand guidelines, some of the marketing materials that are available either through the site, membership materials, promotion materials, polio, where you can get your banners, etc. The shop, the print on demand service, where you can get leaflets, images, pull up banners and things actually printed, through the approved supplier, some videos linked to the YouTube website and other videos that are downloadable for use at events and things. So lots of resources that are available. Hints and tips around social media and the hashtags and things that Rotary use nationally, and a guide there for club social media message pages. The guide doesn't cover what to do if your page is blacklisted by Meta. If anybody finds the answer to that, then we'd all love to know, which seems to be happening on a fairly regular basis, but that's one of the challenges. Help with press releases, as I mentioned, pull-up displays, lots of information and resource that's available, links back to the webinars that have been held previously. You can see there's a whole series actually of them there if people want to do, and information about copyright that we'll come on to in a moment, and contact details for the public image team along the way, and which areas that we cover between us. So that whistle stop tour, and apologies that it was very whistle stop tour, was helpful actually to you along the way. And we'll go back to the quiz with a bit of luck. So just a few reminders that I'll quickly rattle through for the branding. So hopefully we all know that it's important to use the official Rotary logo without alterations. A, because it saves on design costs. B, to maintain brand integrity and recognition. C, to comply with local regulations. And D, to allow creative freedom. So it's important to use the Rotary logo because we want to be consistent, we want to be recognised, and we've got to do that on a consistent basis and things along the way.
Andy,
So we've
you want
got,
to put it up on full screen?
oh, sorry.
Yep. Thank you.
Oh, thanks, Maggie, for keeping an eye on me. It's a good job one of us is awake, isn't it? Here we are. So lots of different images there that you can choose to if you want to have a look at, to have a which one do you feel is is correct, things along the way. Anybody want to guess which is the correct and incorrect ones?
So
So which are the incorrect ones?
far right, Rotary Blackmore Vale looks right.
Yeah.
B's wrong.
B's wrong. Why?
I don't like it. It's the wrong way around.
That doesn't mean it's wrong just because you don't like the colours. It is
It's
in
the wrong
fact
way
correct.
around,
It's
isn't it?
just using black and it's using the simplified wheel, which some people like and some people don't.
I think C is okay, although I don't like it. I think you said earlier that club or district could be above the Rotary, which it is there, so that should be okay. But my personal preference is to have the name under the word Rotary.
Yeah, and technically, technically the guidelines say that district must
Be below.
be below rather than above the word Rotary.
Okay, right.
Is E
And
wrong?
he is clearly wrong because the wheel is the wrong side actually of the text and things. Yeah.
Yeah.
All happy with that?
Mm-hmm.
So again, with lockups that we said before, and here's illustrations actually after them. Do these look correct to you? The answer is that yes, they should be, because Lobster Fest is the name of the event or program, and the Helping Hands is is a partner's logo. So you can have partners, sponsors, program, or events logos to the right-hand side of information about Rotary in those sort of formats and things, and that's what lockups look like. Neon pink, wouldn't it be great if Rotary used neon pink? I think that would be popular, but royal blue and Rotary gold are the main colours that's actually approved and things. And what should we do if we find another organisation using the Rotary wheel or any Rotary imagery without permission? Do A, we ignore it? Do B, do we report it? Confront the person directly, or do we post a warning on social media? Of course, if we see another organisation, then we deal with it ourselves, or we report to the public image chair. So Rotary's image itself, we only should actually be using licensed vendors for all products and things that Rotary clubs are actually and Rotarians are actually buying. And anybody that wants to use the logo and sell them needs to actually have a license, which comes from Rotary International, Rotary in these counties and islands, and they actually have to pay a fee for actually using the Rotary logo and things. So that's a whistle-stop tour then of the brand centre. So we just have a quick look at copyright next. I'm sorry you're hearing a lot of words actually then. So copyright law protects the rights and creators of original works, and that includes music, lyrics, recordings, and written materials. Then it gives them control over how their work is used, copied for forms are distributed, and lasts for a lifetime of 70 years. So it applies to a whole range actually of of different things. And it's not correct that you can use up to 30 seconds of any song without permission, because then they're considered fair use. That isn't. So the person responsible for ensuring that Rotary events comply with copyright law, is it the band or the performer or the entertainer or the comedian, the club or the event organizer, the venue manager or the local council? So if it's a Rotary event, who's ultimately responsible for ensuring that it complies?
B, the club event.
Hopefully you've all written down B. We as Rotarians that are organising the event, or the club that's organising the event, is responsible for it. If an image has been created on artificial intelligence, for example, a picture, a diagram, poster, words, phrases, music, you automatically receive sole copyright for the work. So if it's created on AI, is it your copyright? What do people think? Yes, no?
Oh, I'm going to go with no.
Others? Any other thoughts? You're quite right, Paul. The
No.
answer is no. The actual copyright can be retained actually by the AI platform itself under their terms of use. So therefore, always use the brand center to create any imagery using the Rotary brand, because then you'll get it entirely 100% right, not something AI generated that's similar. So always, always, always use the brand center for creating logos and lockups. So why should Rotary clubs respect music copyright? Because it avoids fines or takedowns. It respects the creator's rights. It reflects Rotary's values of integrity and fairness.
All
Hopefully
the
what
above.
hopefully what I've said already will give you a clue that any form of copyright, it impacts actually in all of those. So by way of illustration, our Rotary Club is running a Christmas event through the local streets, playing festive music from a speaker. Which of the following statements about copyright are correct? You can play any Christmas music publicly without permission because it's a charity event. You can play recorded Christmas songs if you bought the CD or have a personal Spotify account. You must obtain a music license, such as a music license from the PPL or the Performing Rights Society, to play recorded Christmas music in public. You don't need permission if you play fewer than 30 seconds of each song.
It's C.
C is the only right one.
C is the only right one there, yes.
Mm.
Even if you own the music, then technically you can't play it actually in public. So you always need a music license to actually be doing that. And the purpose of a Performing Rights Society, PRS for music, is because it covers sound recordings, covers live performance and musical compositions, covers photography or volunteer data. Hopefully, you'll all be clear that it covers live performances. That's why if you're performing music live, you need a license. So a phonographic performance license, and again, don't worry too much about the detail here, because there's a comprehensive handout that has been prepared. This sole license covers song lyrics, the sound recording itself, sheet music copies, or spoken word recordings. So a PPL license covers the sound recording itself. And similarly with a Christian copyright license in international license, that's primarily for copyright for hymn words and church music, Rotary Club banners and images, personal copies of Christmas songs, streaming of any music on social media. Hopefully it's quite obvious that there is something different that is available for printed hymn words and church music for those Christmas carol concerts that you might be wanting to use. They can be subject to copyright, and you may need a license to be able to use them. Hopefully it goes without saying from what I've said. The 4 questions, Carol, are: what must the Rotary Club do if it wants to include a copyrighted song in a video posted online? Nothing, it's fine if it's under 30 seconds. Get permission or a suitable license, just credit the artist or play it quietly in the background.
Get permission.
Get the permission, always get the permission. What's the safest way for a Rotary Club to use background music at events? Use music from a royalty-free source, stream it from YouTube, play your personal playlist, use live radio.
Use music from a royalty-free source.
Royalty-free source, yeah. All the others are subject to copyright along the way, yeah. So which of these that you may or may not have heard of is not a recognised royalty-free resource? So if you're looking for music that is copyright-free, could you go to the Free Music Archive, MuseOpen, the YouTube Audio Library, or Spotify Premium, which is not a source that is royalty-free?
Spotify Premium.
Any other thoughts? Thanks, Paul. Any other thoughts? Yeah, Paul's spot on again. Spotify is for personal listening only. Playing it publicly breaches their terms. So that is not royalty free. The others are. So
I'm not Googling, by the way.
No. You're doing very well, Paul. But hopefully, most of the answers are. This isn't a quiz that's designed to catch people out. It's designed to make it interesting. So the copyright of a photograph taken by a club member at a Rotary event is owned by the photographer, the Rotary Club, Rotary globally, or the person in the photo.
No, the photographer.
The photographer. And what must be done before publishing a story involving personal information? Get written consent, assume it's fine if they're a member of the Rotary Club, skip consent for positive stories because we all want to get news out there, and use only first names without approval. So if you want to use personal information, what must we do?
Get written consent.
Get written consent. Yeah, ideally we're looking to get written consent along the way. And when we're using, could be more than one answer here. When using text from the Rotary website, magazine, district newsletters, the correct approach is to A, copy full paragraphs without credit. So do we credit the source? We rewrite it in our own words and cite that it's come from a Rotary website. Do we use screenshots, or do we include the quote properly with quotation marks and a credit?
D, proper with quotation marks.
Yeah, C is also possible. So you can rewrite it in your own words, but note that the source of the original text was rotary.org. You don't necessarily need to use the whole thing verbatim, but just cite where the information has come from if you choose to. So 3 answers here are correct. So which one's wrong? Which of the following are good copyright habits? Is it keeping a folder of permissions, crediting photographers, using AI-generated Rotary logos, using official brand centre materials?
C is wrong.
In the last 45 minutes, I've been waffling away. So hopefully you're all going to say that A, B, and D are correct.
Yep.
And nobody's going to use that, etc. So there we are. So I'm very mindful of the time. So we've covered a few questions as we've actually gone through. But are there any further questions that people would like to, to raise now that Maggie will kindly facilitate, and I'll shut up. And thank you for listening to me waffling away. I hope in a small way it was useful.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Andy. That's been quite a marathon for you. And you've given us a broad insight into public image, into copyright and the correct use of the Rotary brand. And we should again say thank you to Colin. He's not with us this evening, but he put the quiz together, so put a lot of work into this. But he's lost his voice. He's had a very bad chest infection and unable to be with us. I just want to go back to one thing we talked about earlier, and that was Christmas, the Christmas sleighs. And I know that particularly Mark Evans, who's in charge of our compliance within our district. I think, Mark, you wanted to say something this evening about that?
Yeah, it's just an observation. Thank you, Maggie. Obviously, Christmas cascades a lot of initiatives and activities for Rotary due to its unfortunately speckled history of issues. Our Santa interfaces, both from a health and safety and a safeguarding perspective. Santa Sleigh, in all of its various guises, specifically has an RGBI guidance now to undertake any activity along those lines. So I would encourage people to look at the RGBI website, compliance website, to pick those guidances up. Linked to this as well is quite a number of initiatives take place during twilight or darkness hours. And I noticed Alan Bartholomew there very kindly mentioned the new specification of the high-vis jackets. These have just been issued, and there's a Rotary Club in Dunstable that offer a shop centre where you can buy all of these, and they comply exactly to what's required by RGBI. So in summary, discussions I had with Maggie and Ian, our DG, we shall be adding these 2 bulletins to our monthly edition that Ian sends out to bring people's attention to the fact that we're into a busy time of the year. Thank you.
Thanks, Mark. Right, Richard Morgan, you've got a question. Would you like to unmute yourself?
Yes, each year we get a logo, we get a presidential message.
Mhm.
Create hope in the world, magic of Rotary, unite for good, etc. That tends to be put on various publicity stuff. So notwithstanding the fact we've got current Rotary logos correct, we end up with these messages going back, in some cases, several years, which can be confusing, can it not?
Well, I think we just use the one that's current in this particular year by the RI president, which is Unite for Good. And we forget about all the others that have gone previously. So as long as we're using the correct Rotary branding for your club, which we've talked about this evening, Unite for Good could go on another part of a poster or publicity material that you want to send out. Okay, is that okay?
Not if you bought pull-up banners or produced
Well, if you're going to
expensive logos or expensive marketing stuff.
Yeah, if you're creating pull-up banners or anything like that, I wouldn't put the annual theme on. I would just use your club logo and service above self or people of action, which is what we talk about. People of action is the main tagline that Rotary uses these days. I only, in my own case, I only do one per year of a pull-up banner, and that is for the district governor, and he has a specially made one for himself with the theme on. But just for posters for advertising, most of these are for internal themes anyway, although the message from the RI president this year is Unite for Good can be used to the general public as well. So if you wanted to put it on a poster for advertising a fireworks night or something like that, you could just put it in the bottom, or if it's internal within your own club, you could put it on the bottom of a poster, as long as your main logo with your club name is at the top. Okay.
And it can be used as part of a lockup.
Yeah.
And from here on in, there aren't going to be annual themes. They have now been considered to be,
yeah,
they've been disbanded or whatever. So, which is a decision that's been taken nationally.
Can I also say though, Richard, I know what you're talking about, and lots of clubs, because I've seen it on a particular club near you, that they're still using like Rotary opens opportunities and various old ones. Those were always meant to be internal.
Certainly.
But
Yep.
if we use Unite for Good as part of our marketing, then we can't go far wrong.
No.
And people of action is the other phrase that's
Yeah.
often, you know, we should be using through strap lines and things.
Yeah, people of action is the main one. So yeah. Hope that's answered your question. Simon, you've got a question.
Yes. At our we had a corporate training event last weekend, and a question came up from one club. They one of their corporates has asked to put on the side of his plumbing. He's a very big plumber, and he wants to put on the side of his vans a proud corporate supporter of Rotary on the side of the van. Now, based on what I saw earlier on, that everything in the brand centre is only for Rotary use, does that preclude them from putting anything on the side of the van?
As long as it oh, sorry, Maggie's going to.
No, come on. Well, if you've got the answer to that, that's fine. But I know that when they're a corporate member, there is a special corporate plaque that they can put on in their premises. But I know that we've been told by Phil Dyer they're not allowed to use their connection with Rotary on business cards or letter headings or anything like that. If they're sponsoring something to do with Rotary, then they could possibly put that on their van, but not just as a corporate member. Have you got anything to add to that, Andy? Because I don't think
only within the only way it can be done is within the guidelines of lockups.
Yeah.
You know, and if we go back to what they were.
Yeah, I know when we've used sponsors in the past, sponsors have been able to say, you know, put something on their vehicles or something, this is sponsored, Rotary is sponsored by, but not for the corporate membership.
Yeah. Okay. And again, just bear in mind that corporate membership is unique to these islands at the moment. It may be rolled out across the rest of the world, and the Rotary Brand Centre and guidelines may be updated to reflect that at the moment, but they don't at the moment. The only dispensation is actually, as Maggie said, actually for the plaques that are available through the Rotary Supply Centre. And I should have thought to get some, but hopefully you've all seen these I faded away, haven't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've disappeared. Crazy.
They'll flash it.
Yeah, the Rotary signs, and there's all sorts of things. It's in the Tough Shop. That's what they call it, and basically it's a Rotary Rotary approved, so you can get the wheels and everything like that as well. And if you have the Rotary service news that should come into your email box on the 19th, but the 17th or 19th of every month. There's sections for humanitarian foundation membership, etc. And there's also a section on public image. And if you click into public image on that monthly newsletter, they will give you a link to the Tough Shop to be able to buy any of these boards, and also for the corporate membership plaques as well, because they're all available via the Tough Shop. Okay.
And they're a
Thank
great
you.
way to make, you know, as an alternative to tab bars, to use the current brand to get images across in a much more interesting and effective way. And don't forget, never use images of big checks. You know, please.
Oh no!
Don't use that along the way.
No, I always say follow the money. You know, if you've got a story to tell, the check presentation isn't a good photograph. It's very boring. Go and see the project that you've actually funded and take photographs of the project. Create a storyline for that. Any other questions?
Philomena's had her hand up for a while.
Sorry?
Philomena. It's me,
Oh,
Maggie.
Philomena.
Yeah. Is there a quick route to find the RGBI shop?
Yeah, if you go onto the Rotary GBNI website and then go into the members area, and once you're in the members area, go to public image.
So it's in the public image area?
Yes, and you'll find the shop, the print on demand is the shop where you can purchase anything that you actually want for yourself, like the volunteer leaflets, the postcards, and all the other bits and pieces that we tend
8 o'clock now. It's a little bit.
Quite a few of
through-
them can be personalised as well.
And through the Rotary Brand Centre, there's a link to licensed suppliers. So there's the
no,
website.
no, it's not that kind of shop.
No. Yeah,
It's the one for all the brochures.
Yes, that's right.
I tried to get. I mean, yeah, I never went in the same way twice. And then once you're in, because it's powered by a third party, it gets very difficult to follow the money, as it were. You know, that what your order is and all that. I just find it very confusing.
All right, okay. I can always go through that with you, Philomena. No problem.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Anybody else got their hand up? I can't.
No, not yet.
Anybody else? Right, well, as I say, we've talked a lot about branding this evening, and we just remind everybody that the branding changed over 13 years ago. And if anybody, I see clubs sometimes saying, oh, I'm still wearing my old polo shirt with the old branding. And there was a comment earlier from Alan about the tabards with the old branding on as well. And you've got to bear in mind that these are now 13 years old. So do you think you've had good wear out of these and could possibly now use them as dusters or throw them in the bin? Don't throw your tabards in the bin. Anything with a Rotary mark on, please shred it or cut it up so that nobody else could use it either. But not many people will wear their clothes continuously for 13 years and then not think they've had good wear out of them. It's only Rotarians who can't afford £12 for a polo shirt with the correct branding on it. I'm hoping that as assistant governors this evening, we hope you now feel a little bit more confident about being able to support your clubs in your area with the correct information about the themes we've gone through this evening, especially those clubs that are very busy with events in the run-up to Christmas. But obviously you've got the 4 public image team leads, you've got your compliance leads as well, that you can always go to ask for more information. And for our other district officers, we ask you also to make sure that both your own club and any other clubs you're advising and working with are following the correct branding procedures. As this is a great support for the AGs and the district public image leads as well, as we are, particularly in public image, we are constantly battling to make sure that the right image of Rotary is presented to our clubs. As Andy has said, you will receive an email from your district public image team lead and that'll include the resources and checklists for copyright, public image and branding. And these will give you links to various resources as well. This will include a variety of copyright-free websites, which you can use and you advise your clubs to use as well. As we said earlier, this session has been recorded, so in the next week or so, the recording should be available on your district YouTube channel. And obviously there are other recordings about copyright and branding available via the Rotary GB&I website in the public image section, which Andy showed you earlier. But if you take nothing else away with you this evening, or I'm sure you've got lots to think about, please remember never, and I do mean never, use Google to search for Rotary branding. If you are working with a third party to support your advertising, make sure you send them the correct brand that you want them to use, because everything you require is in the Rotary International Brand Centre. There's no login, there's no password, as we've already told you. So your professional printer can access the brand centre if they need to. And it's quicker than searching for anything on Google. I think we all know that as Rotarians, we have so much to share with the public, and sometimes we forget just how interesting, inspiring and active we are. So let's make sure every club is proud of their achievements, promoting their amazing things they do for our communities, both at home and abroad, but making sure everything is correctly branded and copyright free. And now I'm going to hand back to Sam. Thank you.
Well, I'm going to say meeting is over. I'll stop recording, and I really do. I should carry on recording really until we've got everyone's. Let's just stop recording.